Let me ask you a question. How many times have you unlocked your phone today? 10? 20? Maybe more? For most of us, it's just a reflex. So today, we're going to explore how we can turn that automatic habit from a source of endless distraction into a really powerful tool for genuine connection. All right, let's get into it. Go ahead, take a quick look at your home screen right now. Is it a space that actually helps you? Or does it kind of feel more like a digital junk drawer, just overflowing with apps and notifications that pull you in a million different directions at once? If that feeling of digital overload sounds familiar, trust me, you are not alone. So, how did our phones even get this cluttered in the first place? I think to find a real solution, we have to figure out the problem first. And that problem really starts with what you could call the social media mess. For most people, our digital life is dominated by these apps, right? The big five. You got Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, and Snapchat. And look, they promise this incredible thing, connection on a global scale. But here's the catch. That massive scale often gets in the way of any real, meaningful connection. And this is the central paradox of it all, isn't it? You can spend hours scrolling through feeds, seeing updates from literally thousands of people, and yet you walk away feeling more isolated than you did before. These platforms are built for maximum breadth, but they have almost no depth. So why are they built like this? Well, it's not an accident. Not at all. It's actually a very deliberate business model. Let's pull back the curtain and look at the system that's designed to make us feel this way: the attention economy. You know, the early internet had this beautiful promise, this idea of a digital town square or a global village. It was supposed to be a place where ideas could be exchanged and we could connect with people from all over. But that idealistic vision, it's been replaced by something way more commercial and, frankly, just chaotic. Okay, so this right here is the key to understanding everything. In an attention economy, your time and your engagement, that's the product being sold. The algorithms are tweaked to keep you on the app for as long as possible. And, the easiest way to do that is often by showing you content that sparks outrage or makes you feel like you're not good enough, rather than content that actually builds a real community. And this chart just nails the gap between what we were sold and what we actually got. That promise of a global village, it became information overload. And the simple idea of sharing your life, that morphed into what the source material calls the content treadmill, this nonstop pressure to perform and create content instead of just connecting. So that's the problem. And I know it sounds a little grim, but the good news is there's a surprisingly simple, totally actionable solution. It's called the 5 over 5 idea. If these gigantic platforms are failing to give us real value, then what's the alternative? How can we actually take back our digital spaces and make them work for us instead of against us? The answer lies in this one simple number: 5. It's all about being intentional, about choosing a small, curated set of communities that actually line up with your real passions. So here's the core concept. You identify those 5 big generalist apps that just eat up all your time, and you consciously swap them for 5 smaller, niche platforms built around what you're actually into: your hobbies, your career, your passions. Just think about how practical this is. Instead of scrolling through a random Instagram feed, you join a forum for, say, street photography fans. Instead of that chaotic fire hose of information on X, you join a focused Discord server for software developers. You swap the noise of a generic Facebook group for a small, local gardening community. It's a direct swap from noise to signal. All right, so what's the payoff from making this change? Well, it's not just about having a cleaner home screen. It's about building a truly intentional smartphone. The biggest benefit by far is this huge increase in what's called your signal-to-noise ratio. Think of it this way. Big apps are like trying to have a real conversation in the middle of a loud football stadium. A niche community, that's like being in a quiet library. On the big platforms, you're always sifting through junk, ads, drama, irrelevant stuff, to find the signal, the things that actually matter. In a niche community, almost everything is signal. And the benefits are just profound. Imagine if your time online actually left you feeling energized instead of drained. Your interactions become higher quality. Your well-being improves because you're tapping into a basic human need for belonging. All that social pressure to perform just disappears, and you can find real growth by connecting with actual peers. This quote really just gets to the heart of it all. This whole idea is about shifting away from valuing things like followers and instead valuing real, meaningful connections with people who share your interests and can actually add something to your life. Ultimately, this swap changes your behavior on a really deep level. Your phone is no longer just a device you pick up to mindlessly kill time. It becomes a portal you open with a very clear purpose: to engage with your community, to learn something, to contribute. And that all leads to this incredibly powerful shift in your identity. On the big platforms, you are a user, you're a data point, you're a pair of eyeballs. But in a focused community, you become a member, an active, valued participant who actually belongs there. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. When you really look past all the noise of those big five apps, what are the communities that truly matter to you? Because curating your digital life around that answer might just be the most important upgrade you can make.